Bonjour and welcome to the Rainy Corner. My name is donnabravo. Last week I was on vacation in North Carolina. We're already on vacation. I went to North Carolina. It was very beautiful. I even bought some books, which I'll show you if you stick to the end of this video. I will be showing you the different POVs, aka point of views. So what is point of view? Point of view is basically how we hear, feel, and see the story unfold. It is how the story is narrated and who narrates the story. Is it a character or is it an omnipotent narrator? Point of view is more important than you think. There is no right or wrong when it comes to POV, but there are certain POVs that fit certain storylines and things and such. And it makes your story better. It's not which POV is right or wrong. It's simply which one will tell your story with the most fluency and detail. It will determine how we, as the reader, will see the story too, because different characters have different perspectives depending on who they are and where they come from and stuff. There are many different types of POVs. There is first person, there is second person, there is third person omnipotent, and there is third person limited or closed. However you want to say it. So let's get straight into the different points of views. First person point of view. There are pronouns such as me, my, and we. We are seeing the story through the lens of a single person. Everything that character sees, hears, or experiences, the audience will experience it too. This is generally a very popular point of view, especially in YA fiction. And I'm not going to lie, it's perhaps my favorite point of view to read and to write too, but it's because first person point of view helps me create a deeper connection with the protagonist. Since we are inside their heads, we can see their thoughts and we know exactly what that character knows, and we know how it affects them because it affects us. For example, if the best friend is going to backstab the protagonist, guess what? If we're reading the point of view of the protagonist, we're not going to know the best friend is a backstabber. It's going to be as much of a surprise for the protagonist as it is for us. If something happens in the villain's lair, I guess we'll die together because we won't know what the hell went down. If the best friend of the protagonist dies, we will feel that pain because we will be within their head, seeing their thoughts and feeling their pain for their loss. Him, they, and them. We follow a particular character although we are not exactly in their head, and they don't narrate the story. We just follow them. This type of third person point of view gives you some freedom to see other things apart from just the protagonist's perspective, while still being able to follow and form a close connection with the character we're following. However, remember that since we are no longer inside the character's head, it's going to be a little harder to form a deeper connection with them. It's not impossible though. I've seen good authors do it well. Third person omniscient point of view. I'm not sure if I said that right. Pronouns such as she, him, they, and them. The same pronouns used in third person limited. We see the story from the lens of a narrator, not through a character, and we aren't following any particular character. If something important is going down in the villain's lair, we might be there. If the protagonist and the love interest are having a fight at the same time, we might also be there. Third person omniscience has no limits. You can be here, you can be there, you can be in space, you can be in Tartarus, anywhere. Okay, my dog just barked, but let's keep going. It is harder to form a connection with the characters due to the distance there is. You aren't following any certain characters and you aren't in anybody's head. We are seeing everything from a narrator's voice and we are not constrained. So we won't exactly be seeing any character's thoughts unless the author decides to include that. So if the backstabbing best friend goes to the villain's lair to plot the protagonist's death, we're free to go. I'll catch you over there. Hope you all enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it. And thankfully my dog's not barking anymore. If you guys would like me to make a video in the future on how to decide what point of view to use in your story, leave that in the comment section below. And as promised, I will now show you the 6 books I brought from North Carolina. 1 from my cousin, the other 5 I asked my dad to buy them for me. So the first 2 I bought on the second day we were there. I got them at, I forgot the name of the store, but it's like a Costco. And so I was at the book section and I was just like, I'm not gonna be tempted, I'm not gonna be tempted, I'm not gonna be tempted. but I was tempted and I could not resist. And so I bought The Perfect Husband by Lisa Gardner, and I bought The Rescue by Nicholas Sparks. More like my dad bought them for me. Yeah, they're really good. I finished reading both of them. I finished reading this one in like 4 days. How many pages is it? Oh, my dog's back. The story itself is 465 pages, but in total, there are 485. Wonderful. A really good book, but it's an adult thriller book, so I probably shouldn't have read it. But I did, so what? Nicholas Sparks. I'm tempted to say it's a YA or a new adult. I'm not really sure because, I mean, they make love, but there's nothing graphic. I mean, maybe it could just be the author's decision. I don't know. But read it, it's really good. Oh my god, it's the character development. Now this one, my cousin let me borrow it. Naomi, you're amazing. I will treat this book as if it were my own. It's called Go Ask Alice. It was published anonymously. I haven't read it yet, but I've been wanting to read it for a very, very long time, and it's basically like a diary. It says, it started when she was served a soft drink laced with LSD in a dangerous party game. Within months, she was hooked, trapped in a downward spiral that took her from comfortable home and loving family to the mean streets of an unforgiving city. It was a journey that would rob her of her innocence, her youth, and ultimately her life. Read her diary, enter her world. You will never forget her. Well, they never forgot the book, so must be a pretty good book. Well, it's a diary, so. Next, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to get this book for a long time because it's the third and final book of a series I really love of a person, well, a historical figure from a musical I am kind of addicted to. It's called All for One by Melissa de la Cruz. It's from the Alex and Eliza trilogy. I have Alex and Eliza, A Love Story, which is the first book. I have Love and War, which is the second book. And I finally got this one. The only thing I do not like is that those are hardbacks and this is a paperback. But it was the only one that there was in Barnes & Noble. And I just had to. So this one I bought at well, my dad bought it. The last two I'm going to show you, my dad also got them for me at Barnes & Noble. I was freaking out about the book thief too, but I was only able to get 3 books. Next is a book I've heard so many good things about. It's a trilogy, but I just got the first book. I got it paperback. Scythe. I think it's a YA novel taking place in a dystopian society where people don't die anymore. So they hire people to kill people. Amazing. Yeah, so I'm going to read it once I finish all the like 30 something books I have right here. Have you smelled them? And last but never least is a book by a booktuber, Poland Bananas 20, I think it was. Again, but better. It's a contemporary romance, I think. Look, go watch her channel. She's funny. I love the bookmark. She's currently writing her second book and I can't wait to read that. Preferably paired. Not sure if you're changing the title or anything, but can't wait to read that too. So, and before I read all of these 30 something books I have up here in this messy library, which I'm going to clean either today or tomorrow, I have to finish reading this. Do you guys know what this is? Don't look at that. It's Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, but I don't care. I got this book when I went to Chicago to the Hamilton exhibit. Alexander Hamilton, I'm gonna wait for it. Wanna watch the Disney adaptation again. It's like 818 pages or something like that. Not really sure, but I have to read all of this and I'm on page 26. I started reading it yesterday and I'm on page 26 so far. But it's so far a really, really good book. A lot of detail, not just about Alexander Hamilton, but about other people around him too. Really good book. Go check it out. And if you have not watched the musical, go watch it. So by the way, this is like a fictional story about Alexander Hamilton. Just so you know how much of a fan I am. I should probably start ranting. There are links to my social media accounts down in the description below. I have Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Go follow me. I post daily inspirational quotes if you like to start your day off with a smile. And today's daily inspirational quote will also be in the description below. Go check that out. Have a wonderful week, and Naomi, I will take very good care of your book. I love books. Your book is in very good hands. Now I'm off to edit this video. Have a wonderful week. And forgot to mention, I got a Seahorse metallic bookmark. It was 40% off. My dad also got me that.
Remember me with the how to online your book? Remember me? Subscribe and like button and turn on notifications. I hope you enjoy this video, and make sure you turn on notifications and bell. So bye.